Ghostly tales, yet mirrors of human life. Hey everyone! Welcome to Encountering Chinese, Ghostly Tales from Liao Zhai. Today, I'm going to tell you 3 short stories. The first story is titled Liang. In Suzhou, there was a man named Liang who suffered from a persistent runny nose and sneezing. Despite lengthy treatments, his condition showed no signs of improvement. One day, while Liang was sleeping at home, he suddenly felt an unbearable itch in his nose. He sneezed violently, feeling something rush out of his nostrils and fall to the ground. Upon closer inspection, he discovered that the object resembled a small decorative ridge-tailed dog, about the size of a fingernail. Soon after, he sneezed again, and another one fell out. In total, Liang sneezed 4 times, each time dropping a small ridge-tailed dog. These tiny objects could move slowly and soon gathered together, sniffing each other. After a while, Liang noticed that the stronger ridge-tailed dog began to devour the weaker ones. With each one consumed, its body immediately grew larger. In an instant, one strong ridge-tailed dog devoured all the weaker ones, leaving only one, larger than a weasel. It then licked its lips with its tongue. Liang was extremely shocked by this scene and tried to crush it. However, the small ridge-tailed dog climbed up Liang's socks and gradually reached his thigh. Liang shook his clothes vigorously, but the creature clung tightly and couldn't be shaken off. In a moment, the creature crawled into Liang's clothes and scratched between his ribs at his waist. Terrified, Liang quickly took off his clothes and threw them on the ground. Upon touching, he found the creature attached to his waist. Liang tried to push it away, but touching it caused him pain, and it unexpectedly turned into a lump on his own body. Finally, the creature's mouth and eyes began to close, resembling a mouse lying on Liang's waist. The second story is titled The Magistrate of Lucheng County. Song Guiying was a native of Dongping County. He was appointed as the Magistrate of Lucheng County while serving as a tutor at the county school. However, during his tenure, he was notorious for his greed and tyranny, especially in his harsh enforcement of taxes, resulting in many deaths under his brutal punishments. The bodies of those who perished often lay scattered in disarray in the courtyard of the county yamen. There was a man named Su Baishan from our village who happened to visit him once and witnessed his cruelty firsthand. He sarcastically remarked, "Are you, as a magistrate for the common people, really carrying yourself with such arrogance?" Song Guiying misunderstood his intent, thinking it was praise, and proudly replied, "Indeed, I don't deserve it. Although my official position is not high, within 100 days of taking office, I have already killed 58 disobedient commoners." 6 months later, one day, Song Guiying was sitting at his desk working when suddenly he widened his eyes, stood up, and began to flail his arms and legs in a disoriented manner, as if resisting someone. He muttered to himself, "I deserve 10,000 deaths, I deserve 10,000 deaths." His subordinates had to assist him back into the office, but shortly afterward, he died under mysterious circumstances. Fortunately, there are ghost officials in the underworld who also manage earthly affairs. Otherwise, officials like Song Guiying, who killed for personal gain and boasted of their remarkable achievements, would continue to spread tragedy throughout the world. At the end of the story, the author also includes this commentary. The county of Lucheng was once the ancestral land of the Marquis of Lu during the spring and autumn period. Many of those who were killed there were people of strong character and resilience, so their spirits must have been heroes and champions. In today's world, as long as there is an official wielding authority, there will inevitably be a few despicable sycophants below them, who flatter and cater to their superiors. When officials gain power, these individuals will spare no effort in extracting resources from the people to satisfy the officials' extravagant desires. When officials face downfall, these people will coerce the surviving populace to plead for their retention in office. Whether corrupt or upright, every official, in every term, is bound to engage in these two practices. As long as those in power remain in office, the honest and humble common folk dare not disobey. This long-standing practice has become an unwritten rule between the people and officials, and among officials themselves. I believe such a rule would surely be mocked by the ghosts of Lucheng. The third story is titled The Scholar from Hejian Prefecture. In Hejian Prefecture, Hebei Province, there was a scholar whose courtyard was piled high with wheat straw, resembling a small mountain. His family used the straw daily for cooking fires, and over time, a deep hole appeared in the mound. Later, a fox took up residence inside the hole and often met with the scholar, appearing as an old man during their encounters. One day, the old man invited the scholar for a drink and then insisted he enter the hole. The scholar felt uneasy but was forcefully dragged in by the old man. Inside, they discovered a splendid dwelling with exquisite furnishings where they enjoyed tea and fine wine. However, the light inside the cave was dim, making it hard to distinguish between noon and dusk. After the banquet, they emerged from the cave, only to find that the luxurious dwelling had vanished without a trace. The old man would return home every night, and no one knew of his whereabouts. When asked where he went, he would say he was invited by a friend for drinks. The scholar requested to accompany him, but the old man initially refused. After repeated requests, the old man finally agreed. The old man took the scholar's arm and they walked as swiftly as the wind for about an hour, until they arrived at a city. Entering a tavern bustling with many patrons drinking merrily, the old man led the scholar upstairs. From there, they looked down upon the guests below, clearly seeing the food and drink laid out. The old man then went downstairs alone, casually bringing back wine and fruits to the scholar upstairs, unnoticed by the people in the tavern. After a while, the scholar noticed a guest downstairs wearing a crimson robe with a golden tangerine placed in front of him. He asked the old man to fetch that golden tangerine. The old man replied, That person is an upright gentleman. I dare not approach him. The scholar thought to himself, according to the old fox man, he could get close to me because I am not upright. From now on, I must conduct myself with integrity. As the scholar pondered this, he suddenly felt dizzy and lost control of his body, falling headlong downstairs. The drinkers downstairs were startled and made a commotion, calling him a monster. Looking up, the scholar realized that where he had just been was not upstairs but actually on a roof beam. He explained the truth to everyone, and they believed his story, giving him some money before sending him home. The scholar asked where he was, and they replied that he was in Yute County, Shandong Province, 1,000 miles away from Hejian Prefecture. Alright. That's all for today's ghostly tales. Liang, the magistrate of Lucheng County, and the scholar from Hejian Prefecture. If you enjoyed them, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Please also encourage everyone to comment and share more. We'll see you in the next episode.